Hey, what's up, everyone? It's MJ Dark here, and today I'm finally going live as I'm going to do my first unboxing. So please bear with me, as this is something I haven't done before. And I usually, when I unbox things, I usually go nuts and just overall destroy the packaging. Again, my name is MJ Dark, and welcome to Handheld Kings. What I wanted to do is, I know that many people are looking for information for devices such as INEO, GPD Win, OneX player, and many other PC handhelds out there. And one of the things that I've been doing over the past couple, I would say, over the past year, is I've been diving myself into PC handhelds, as I love to have um, a device that I can take with me when I'm not able to game on my desktop or my Xbox console or any of the other consoles that I own. And in doing so, it's kind of allowed me to, again, engage with my library, my games on the go, so I can continue playing, especially with some of these games taking so much time that it's nice to kind of have sit down and have a handheld. And again, there's a lot of other channels that I can definitely recommend, and I'll try to put in the description that will focus on kind of speeds and feeds and a lot of more technical um, information when it comes to PC handheld. um I want to make this channel more dedicated to more of the everyday consumer or gamer, where I am doing my best to explain how this works. So in case you've been kind of on the fence or looking to kind of dip your toes into the PC space, I can sort of demystify some of those things that come along with PC gaming. So without further ado, this is the One X GPU. Now, what this is an external GPU that you can connect to one of these devices here. This is the GPD Win Max 2. And what you can do with this is that I can connect that external GPU to this device. And what's going to do is that it's going to give me more performance than usually than what I you would get out of the device. And it's nice because think about it this way, right? For many of you that have the Nintendo Switch, when you have it in handheld mode, you know that it runs in a certain way. Then when you dock it, sometimes it gives you that little bit of performance. So think of it that way. When I dock this PC handheld to this external GPU here, then you get that extra performance. So what's nice about this one is that, um, really quick, hey, what's up, Sour Below? Welcome. I see you in the chat. First person. Thank you. This one uses the AMD Radeon 7600M XT with 8 gigabytes of DDR RAM. And what that means is that when I plug this little bad boy in, I can play my games 1080p high, sometimes ultra, depending on what I want to do with my settings. Or if my device, if I connect this to an external display, I can play some games up to 2K resolution, maybe medium settings, depending on how heavy the game is. And it's pretty cool because it definitely gives you an increase in performance. So let me go ahead and open up this bad boy here and to kind of show you, this is kind of what the boxing looks like. So this is really tiny. Now that there's other external GPUs in the market that are much bigger, um, that can be used. You can even use a dock that allows you to install like a 40 series card. I like this one for me personally because it's compact to an extent, and I can literally sit on my couch while I'm playing on my PC handheld. So you guys can see, this is sort of the size of this right here. So let me go ahead and take this tape off here. Let me put this down a little bit. Oh, you're playing some GTFO, Sour? Cool. Hey, Sour, since I know you're in the chat, how am I? How's my audio? Hey, what's up, Plume? So yeah, so here you go. Here is the eGPU, the One X GPU. As you can see, it's very compact. Over here, you have your USB ports. This right here is a turbo button. So what that does is that you can start at 60 watts, and that's for, think of it, your baseline performance. But if I want to push this a little bit more, because I'm playing a demanding game, I can literally hit that and it'll boost up the GPU in here. And then of course your power button. Now in the back, if you can see here, you have an HDMI port, and then you have this really cool port here, Oculink. Now, what's cool about Oculink is that before you had to use with this Type C USB 4 or Thunderbolt, and there was limitations to that. Now, one of the reasons I got this was because this is also compatible not only with my GPD Win Max 2, my Neo slide, which just came in. I upgraded from a 32 gig model to a 4 terabyte because I'm a hoarder. But this actually has a USB 4 port where I can connect it via Thunderbolt and use this eGPU. Now, the speeds and the performance that I would get wouldn't be as efficient in using what's called an Oculink port, which is a newer port, but you're still, and using this allows me to get much more better performance out of this device or any kind of external GPU that you might be using. And then here I can, again, connect this to a dual display however I want. I have an actual nice Ethernet port in case I want to use that as well. So again, this is a really nice dock along with a really nice card. You can see the vents are right here. And let's see what else comes in. So in this package, we have some of the cool, fancy things they put in there. I wanted to show you guys the size of this brick. I think the size of this power supply is as big as Crazy Lou. So this is the power supply to the One X GPU. So as you can see, this is the bad boy that we're using to power the One X GPU. And then this, of course, comes in the box. Comes with the USB Thunderbolt cord, the one that you can use on any device that would support it. Like I said before, the reason I went with this one, they make another one called the GPD G1, is because I can use this with the Lenovo Legion Go, because the Lenovo Legion Go has actually custom AMD drivers that this supports. So I'm happy that I got this because, again, I like playing on my Legion Go, and it allows me to connect it on all my other devices that have an Oculink port, and then the ones that only have regular USB 4. So yeah, so now to show you that this is the Oculink port. I got this from GPD Win, but I was able to get it on Amazon. It's a little bit pricey, but from what I was told, this is the one you want to use. Hey, what's up, Silent? Welcome. You missed the unboxing so far, but I'll show it right now. But this is the Oculink port that you use to then go ahead and connect it here. Now, one of the key things that when you're doing this is that it's not hot swappable. So what I mean by that is that you want to make sure you connect this and you power on your eGPU first and then your device. And then when you want to disconnect, make sure that the device that you're using is powered off completely, and then you can unplug. Yeah, man. So welcome, Cypher. So look, this is what I was showing everyone else. Sorry, it's upside down, I think. But this is the One X GPU. I know Asus has a similar external GPU, but of course, Asus stuck with their proprietary port. So you can only use the ones made by Asus on the ROG Ally. But what's cool about this, like I was saying before, Cypher, is that I can use this on other devices, even the Lenovo Legion Go, which is similar to the Asus ROG Ally. And of course, another thing I want to say about my channel is check out the videos. Many of you who know me, I play tons of games. So I will put my description when it comes to TikTok and, of course, this YouTube channel. And I'm going to be uploading gameplay from the multiple devices that I own to kind of show you, hey, you might be on the fence of wanting to know, hey, can this specific device run a particular game? And you will see that I'm playing some of these games. Now, keep in mind, I know sometimes for many of you, when it comes to a lot of these PC handhelds, you're like, well, I have to tinker. Well, there's some good sites out there. Hey, what's up, Ham? Welcome. There are some sites out there that I recommend, like ROG Ally Life, I think it's Legion Go Life, Steam Deck HQ. And these individuals actually they actually profile the games for you, which you can then profile on these devices. And again, what's cool about the PC handhelds is that, again, you can play your Game Pass games. There's tons of Game Pass games that are coming, and I want to make sure that I can play them wherever I'm at, whether I'm in the car, whether I'm traveling. This is my device to go. Or you can install Steam or any of the PC storefronts, which is the great thing about these PC handhelds. So you kind of have the best of both worlds. If there's a game that maybe is not on Game Pass or maybe on another platform that you want to play, that's the great thing about PC gaming is that you're able to then play those other games that you might miss out on, but then continue to kind of carry your digital library wherever you go. Hey, what's up, Mr. Inferno Gomez? Hello. Sublime Giant. So I know you guys. Hey, one bad mother. I know you guys were here a little bit late, and I'm live. But like I wanted to show as people come in. One of the things I forgot to point out about this that I also went with this OneX GPU is that back here it actually has. And let me see if I can open this. Oh, I can. It has a 2280 M.2 slot. So I actually have a 4 terabyte SSD M.2 2280 that I can slot in here. And now when I plug this into my device, I have additional storage. So if you have a PC handheld that maybe came with a terabyte or 512 and you're afraid to open it because you don't want to do some of that stuff, then this docking station brings that little port there that allows you to easily take the screw right here, plug in that SSD, and now you have a hard drive as well. And to kind of show you some of the devices I have, like I said before, you guys probably seen pictures of me on Twitter with this. This is the iNeo Slide, or AKA the modern day Sidekick. I had the middle variant, which was 64 gigs of RAM and 2 terabytes. But me wanting to hoard tons of games, and you guys know I play tons of games. The last thing I hate to do is always having to be like uninstall and reinstall, especially when I have games that I play constantly, like Power World, Halo. I'm always going back into Cyberpunk, and those games are not small. And one of the cool things about the slide is you can literally, boom, slide right there. You also have that nice tilt, so that way you don't have to completely, go like this with your wrist. You can just have it nicely rested right here on there. Ham, what's my favorite? So I'll tell you right now, my top, I would say 3 that I'm actually rotating at the moment is the one I showed you here. I would say this is the modern day netbook for some of you who know what a netbook is. It's the GPD Win Max 2. What's pretty cool about the GPD Win Max 2 is that, again, it has this little clamshell here. Yeah, I definitely do not recommend, if you have little hands like Crazy Lou, that this would work for you. And what's cool about this, let me see where it's at. I think it's right here. If I want to hide this and I'm just traveling, I can put this here and nobody would know that this is a gaming device. And like a ninja, I can go back in, just put these things in here and play them. Now, this device here also has I like huge screens. So this one's my main one. This is where I run mostly my big games. So right now I'll play Helldivers 2 on this, Alan Wake. Then when I want to play kind of more retro games, and even, this can still handle many of the top tier games as well. I got the Slide. Ergonomically, this is amazing. It's really well built. I love the triggers, and if you're someone who has a Steam Deck and like the console experience that the Steam Deck offers, Aya Neo is, I would say, on the Windows side, even beyond Asus, one of the top um, PC handle manufacturers that has Aya space that's similar to when it comes to Steam and the UI and how to set kind of like the power profiles and all these other things. Oh, you had to get a netbook back in the day, Plume? Yeah, dude, I remember getting a netbook back. Oh my God, when was it? I think this was back in 2005. And the reason I got one is because when I was reading PC Gamer, or I forgot what magazine I was reading, they showed us how you can run Doom, StarCraft, and Diablo. So I was like, yo, I gotta get this. So when I'm on this like 22-hour plane ride, I have something to play. So I got this little mouse, and I literally um playing. I couldn't believe I was playing Doom and Diablo on this little machine. And at the time, PC gaming was all over the place, and this netbook couldn't run half of the stuff that we can run now on some of these PC handhelds. Uh, the other one is the Legion Go, which I have here, and I love it because it's an 8-inch display. I told you guys I love huge displays on the PC handle, especially for me. As you can see, I wear glasses, and I like the fact that I can detach them, like the best handheld in the market, which is the Nintendo Switch. And I can also use FPS mode. And even though people think it's a gimmick, I love actually playing FPS mode when I have the chance because I can literally use it at the puck. One side is like using a mouse, and the other side is like using a regular controller. And you're definitely getting some nice shots when you're playing any type of FPS. Now, to play competitively, I don't know. I'll probably get wrecked. I'm not that good to begin with. Um, Ham, which one has the best battery life? Cool. Here, this bad boy here, the GPD Win Max 2. This has a 67-watt hour battery. But key thing, right? What GPD Win has done compared to what Asus and Lenovo need to do is that they've sort of fine-tuned the way this draws power. And what I mean is when, say on your Steam Deck, for example, you put that you are at 15 TDP or watts, right? That's what that means is the amount of wattage I want to give to the CPU along with everything else, right? Because when you're using TDP, what you're doing is you're telling this device, hey, I need you to give more power to the CPU so I can do things that I need to do. This draws as good as the Steam Deck. So I can play this at lower wattages and get much more performance. So the ROG Ally, when you put it at 25, that's usually where a lot of the sweet spot, and they've done a lot of tweaking. So whatever this does, whatever the ROG Ally does, I can do much lower. So if a game says, "Hey, put it at 23 watts on the ROG Ally," I can sometimes get away with going to down to like maybe 18, even 15, and I'm getting much more out of my games. Now, what I would recommend um, is to get an actual battery pack. I carry it. I've purchased one that is able to not only just charge the device, but as I'm playing, keep up. So I think I have one that's like that does like anywhere from 100 to 200 watts or something like that. I got to check it out, and I can let you guys know. So what I do is I plug that in, and I'm able to maybe get an extra hour or so. So instead of, let's say, a high end game gives me about an hour and 30, I can probably push that to 2.5 hours, which is pretty good. Yeah, Silent. So you can go down. So one of the things that I would recommend, and I've noticed with people that I talk to when it comes to the RG Ally, is that they're playing a game like Pentiment, because everybody has Pentiment on their mind. But any indie game, um, you can play Pentiment at like 5 to 6 watts. But I remember somebody was saying, yeah, I don't get a lot of battery life, and they're playing um, a visual novel at 25 TDP. That's overkill. Like it's a visual novel. Um, yeah, you know what, Ham? Yeah, the Legion Go is great. What I would do is I would wait. because they're going to be some revisions to the current, most likely the RGLI, which we saw Sue said so, and most likely Legion Go. And what you're going to see is you're going to see 88,000 series, and you might want to jump into there because they might also boost. I can tell you this: I hope these new handhelds at least give you a minimum of 32 gigs because it'll definitely help you more. As 16 at this point on these devices is kind of pushing it. Oh, hey, what's up, John Wolf? How you doing, man? So yeah, I would definitely say, hey, get a Legion Go, but wait for the new one. They might even crank up the battery. The Legion Go right now is maybe a couple, I would say, what, depending on the game, 15, 10, 15, maybe max minutes more playtime, especially when you're running that at a higher, of course, resolution because that uses 1600p um, versus a 1080p display. Yeah. So John Wolf brought a good point. Yeah, the claw's coming out as well. It's going to be the sort of one of the first kind of, I would say, in retail devices. I actually pre-ordered one that I'm going to be unboxing here on this channel as well. It's called One X, the OneXPlayer X1. It's literally looks like a Surface tablet. It's an 11-inch tablet. It's 120 hertz, and it uses the same CPU that the MSI Claw uses, which is the Intel 155H. And of course, with this little bad boy here, I'm gonna plug it in, and that's kind of gonna be my main device at home when I'm sitting to play like my top games. So I can't wait to test out Hellblade Senua's Saga with the One X GPU and that 11-inch display, and it has Joy Cons. If you've seen it, it's pretty cool. They, just like the Go, the One X X1, literally on the sides, you put these two controllers together, and they're Joy Cons, and you can play it like that, which is pretty cool. So the thing with Intel that I've been kind of reading and starting to learn is that it does it does require for performance at a higher wattage. That's why I think the battery on the MSI Claw is is a little bit bigger than what you see on the Ally, but of course it needs to draw. So that's something that Intel is going to have to do to sort of improve um, to run efficiently on lower wattages. I've seen some videos from the drivers that they put out that some people have been able to play like Elden Ring and NBA 2K and some of the other kind of AAA games at 15 at 30 FPS, and that's not bad. But I'm pretty sure with drivers and fine tuning that chipset, if they can get a little bit boost and you can get a little bit more, that definitely would be a positive. So it's good that Intel's coming in here because I feel that, like anything else, you need competition, and you definitely want to see Intel push AMD. And if an Intel can get sort of a cadence when it comes to drivers, that'll definitely help push AMD to put a lot of things. And it's exciting because if you guys aren't aware, um, AMD has done some updates to their drivers. Right now, it hasn't come yet to the Legion Go and to the ROG Ally because those use custom AMD drivers, but they have something, you know, called, AMD Fluid Motion Frames. Basically, it's AMD's equivalent to DLSS in the sense of technology. I've been able to use it on the One X player, and I can tell you, um, it is pretty good. It's still being refined, but what's cool is I go from, for instance, I was playing Suicide Squad and I enabled it within the AMD center, and I noticed a much higher boost in FPS that allowed me to kind of help me play the game smoother. Because again, even though um, that game is a little bit heavy, but when I enabled that, it was pretty cool. And when you actually have it in the games like like I think it's Yakuza Infinite Wealth, which I'm playing, it's like an amazing experience when you have FSR3 and FMF enabled. Like it's buttery smooth. It's dope. Hey, what's up, Post Up? Yeah, one bad mother. I mean, if you saw today the update for Xbox Game Pass on PC, um, you know, I would say little foundations. It's definitely night and day. I like how they're putting a lot of stuff. So one of the things I like is how long to beat. And sometimes when I look at games, I know it's not always accurate, that site, but when I've used it has been, you know, minor differences here in time. But I like that it has that. But the key thing is when I have games like, for instance, the Outer Worlds, which had DLC. One of the things that I didn't like on the PC Game Pass was that the DLC you had to search for it. Now everything's kind of within. They've also added a game services support to, and what that means is for many of you who have played on PC Game Pass, sometimes your games won't launch or you have issues where just Game Pass is not working on PC. They now have a troubleshooter which reinstalls the services and everything to get your games back playing. Oh, speaking of AMD, there it is. There he is, Floodzilla, the AMD rep that we have. What's up, man? Hey, John. Just to let you know, John Wolf, we're showcasing real handhelds here, so you know we're not talking about the ROG Ally and it's a 2 hour and it's 2 minute battery. I'm just joking with you, but yeah, uh, yeah. Post up. Ham was asking as well. So yes, I see that you're looking for the Legion Go as your first handheld. What I would say is wait. We are going into March, and as I can tell you, as someone who has been buying some of these handhelds and understanding the cadence, we're seeing the first batch of refreshes from like the main ones, INEO, GPD Win, and so forth. You have the MSI Claw. So I think we could see, and I'm not sure, maybe we can see a revision to the Legion Go um, this year. I know it just came out in December, but I would think if ASUS is thinking about one that, and they said that an RG Ally 2 might be coming, then maybe a Legion Go. It's a great device, but if a new one's, I would say if we don't hear something by, I would say maybe May or June, then I would get one. At that point, you also can see some of them will probably go on sale. Um, I know that I picked up a Legion Go on launch date through Micro Center, and I paid the price of the 1 terabyte for a 2 terabyte, and then it also had a warranty. So it was like I literally camped outside Micro Center and I went to pick it up because it was a crazy doorbuster deal, and I knew that there was probably going to be other enthusiasts like myself or maybe scalpers picking it up. So I picked that one up so I can have a lot of storage on there. Yeah, I mean, if you like the screen size post up, and you want to and you think it's perfect, I like 8-inch handhelds. I think they're great. A lot of the games that sometimes suffer from small text, like I know Cyberpunk, and I'll tell you this, Cyberpunk, I don't know who at CD Projekt Red thought about using red with some of the fonts they use. And I know when I try to play on the Steam Deck, or sometimes when I try to play on my RG Ally, I struggled. At times, I thought I needed to go back to the optometrist to see if I needed a new prescription. So I do prefer the bigger handhelds. But I would also look at Best Buy and some open boxes. Best Buy has their kind of their program which gives you like warranty on any purchases or any kind of technology you make. So even if you buy an open box, you have a peace of mind that that device is still covered under them, and either they'll swap it out for you, fix it for you, or like anything else that I've purchased it through Micro Center or Best Buy, if that device is no longer available, they'll just give you the money that you paid for and then you can upgrade yourself. That's how I have my Legion Go. I have it through Micro Center. Um, so you know, if something happens within the 2 years, I can go to Micro Center and just like my PC parts and everything else, they'll honor it. So it's cool because hey, if they don't have no more Legion Goes after the old stock is gone, you kind of look out in getting sort of upgraded in a way. Who's Doctor Toboggan? Hello, how you doing, Dr. Zabagan? John Wolf, why do I have the 19 inches of Venom? Hey man, Venom is a cool character. If you guys, for many of you who played back in the day, one of my favorite games of all time is Maximum Carnage. I used to play that game like it was crack. And Venom and Carnage have been, like many of you, one of my favorites. And I remember the sequel, which was Separation Anxiety. So hopefully we saw Venom already in Spider-Man 2. So hopefully we can, maybe the next one, we get to see maybe Carnage in this one. Yeah, Fadzilla. Um, Micro Center, yeah, it's Olympus, or it's like computer heaven. But I know a lot of people, like I said again, came in late, and I definitely want to show if you haven't here. But this is the One X GPU by One X. It's actually not bad in pricing. I mean, pricing in the sense of, if you're looking for portability, and that's what I was looking for, I can easily put this in my backpack. Or when I travel myself, it's nice to just have this. I can be at a hotel, I can be at a coffee shop, or like I'm gonna do in a couple of minutes once I get off the stream. I'm gonna plug in this, and I'm gonna sit down, and I'm gonna be playing some Banishers Ghost of New Eden on my GPTV Max 2. And the other thing I was showing everyone else is that this also has a SD card slot in there. SD card, sorry, a SSD M.2 slot, so you can actually put an SSD in there. So instead of having to use a micro SD card, you can definitely use one here, an SSD. Sycamore, hey, what's up, man? Welcome. The noise level, honestly, man, I haven't tested out. I'm not gonna say I at 60 watts. If you put this right, it's not as noticeable. I honestly, it doesn't bother me because I'm so sometimes into the games. Um, and if I am playing games, sometimes I actually have my headphones on, so I'll plug in my headphones and I'll be playing with them on. But me personally, again, I think level of noise from a fan of something is, to me, it's personal preference. If I'm playing a game and it's good, I really don't care. Now, if I booted up Horizon Forbidden Sleep, then that's a different thing, because this blowing hot air, that fan going high, and me falling asleep listening to Aloy, yeah, that'll be a problem. The One X GPU, I got it on Indiegogo. I was actually surprised because this was supposed to ship out. It said the 15th of March, and all of a sudden it just came. So it's been like Christmas this past week. This actually goes for 650. Right now on their website, they have it for 680, which is not bad. But if I had to tell anyone here, and I've been telling the guys as well, um, if you're looking to buy anything from like GPD Win, Ioneo, or even One X, I would go to what's called Droid X. And this site is a site that actually resells these devices. But what's cool is you'll play like a difference. Like I just told you, this was 650, but on Droid X, I think it's like 680. You pay that little bit extra from them, but with every purchase that you make from their devices, they give you a 2-year manufacturer's warranty. So, anything that could have gone wrong as an act of God, you send it back to them. A prime example was this right here, the Ioneo slide. I had the 32 gig version, and for some reason, I had a situation where the device was shutting off. Their support has been phenomenal so far as my first purchase from them. And I talked with support back and forth, and what they allowed me, because mind you, I only had it less than 2 weeks. They not only allow me to exchange it, they let me pay the difference so I can upgrade myself to the 64 gig 4 terabyte version, and not kind of feel that buyer's remorse, right? And it came in like I did. I started an RMA, and it took a couple of days. I shipped it out. They have warehouses everywhere, and then I got this. Everything took like a week or so. So that's not bad. Yes, slow mo. Yes. So when I mean an act of God, yes, an act of God means like Sonic charting NPD or Sonic ever beating. I don't even think there's a multiverse that exists that Sonic would actually beat Mario. I don't think that's even a thing at this point. An Xbox game running on 120 FPS. Oh my god, You're messy with that. I mean, come on, John. Who the hell plays certain games? Like when I go in playing, what's a good example? Phoenix Wright, uh, Ace Attorney. I'm not going in thinking, oh man, I'm gonna be reading this at 120 FPS. Like, come on, man. So, it's I know what you're insinuating, and like I don't go into certain games being like, oh my god, I'm playing this at 120. A game that's not even a shooter, a game that's not even any action, like you're just reading or you're just like walking here and there. Godzilla, now you're being messy. Now let me make this clear. The Switch is still the best handheld. So let's stop. Let's stop with that slander on the Switch. Switch is the GOAT. And for all you guys that like to clown on the Switch, guess what? You still give Nintendo your money. John Wolf gives Nintendo his money, buys a Nitro deck, even though he says he doesn't use it, and then goes and does whatever he has to do with whatever he calls Yuzu, whatever that is. Hey man, let me ask you this, John. And I'm talking about, and this is what I'm telling you. Tell me where on the Steam store, GOG, your favorite, the Epic Game Store, um, Green Man Gaming, CD Keys. Where can I go and give Nintendo my money to play this officially on Steam or officially? I'm not talking about you buying a cartridge from Nintendo on your Switch and then using programs to have your legal backups. I'm talking about where can you just go buy it? Hmm? Hey, what's up, Curry Louise? Oh, Slomo, that's messed up. No, I don't wear glasses because the Switch messed up my vision. If anything, that's why I stopped playing with the ROG Ally because it definitely messed with my vision. Kirby Louise, I'm not gonna sit here so Doug Bowser can come in and demonetize me and then put me in jail in freaking Guantanamo Bay just because I said something about Nintendo and freaking backups. What? Sycamore? What do you mean? Who's MJ Dark? What? Sycamore, you must be tired, man, from being in those spaces today. Mr. Inferno Gomez. Yes. So the One X GPU, yeah, you can use this. Like I said before in the beginning, the reason I bought this one, you guys saw a couple, I think last week. I bought the GPD G1, but as I purchased that one, there was a reason it was cheap, and that was because GPD just did a refresh that's literally just like this. They added this button that actually um, controls like the wattage that you give to this device. But the one thing that the G1 didn't do, because you have to install the regular AMD drivers, um, is you cannot use it like on the ROG Ally or it doesn't work on the Legion Go. There's people that have done workarounds, but it's not always 100%. This one, you can easily plug it in and it actually works. I've seen videos where people are using this one on the Legion Go and it works on all my other devices. Uh, so Yeah, it does. And what you want to do is it doesn't come with the Oculent cable. So what you want to do is you want to purchase the GPD Win. They make their own cable with it because the other ones that I saw on Amazon weren't even giving the actual speeds that you're supposed to get with Oculink. The ones on Amazon seem to be just like ones that are made for like just data transferring. Sycamore, the ROG Ally is a toy, bro. Get out of here. So you know what? This is better than the ROG Ally. You know, look, got a nice keyboard in there, like I was showing before. This is an actual handheld. Oh, also, my bad. I mean, Mr. Inferno Games. Yes, I know you guys are laughing. Hey, like I said, this is my. I haven't done a live stream before, and it's not like every day that I host a show. Unlike some of you guys here that are professionals at hosting and have some great shows. Oh damn, Floodzilla, the Etch a Sketch beats the ROG Ally. Kerbelis, when you see the DS, are you talking about Nintendo DS or are you talking about the Neo Flip DS, which is another device that I'm excited to get my hands on? Um, because I want to get the one with the dual screen. I do have the GPD Win Mini, which is another device, which is pretty cool. And the GPD Win is a beast. I love it. It has a 7-inch display. You guys have probably seen it when I post some of my videos on there with the games. I'm pretty satisfied with GPD. I think they make really great hardware. The one thing that I would say that GPD Win doesn't do is how easy it is to use their motion assistant. If anything, their motion assistant has a lot of great features, but it's more for like hardcore people versus if I gave it to somebody like John Wolf who plays on a Fisher Price handheld like the ROG Ally. And then I would say I like the Neo devices, especially with the 7840U performance. I think they're really good and getting a lot out of that. And then for people that want a walk into a Best Buy and buy the best retail handheld, I would say the Lenovo Legion Go. Okay, so you, Kerbelis, you're saying that the Neo dual screen, then the Ally is your number two, and then the Nintendo DS is number three. Okay. Hey, RSJ fan, how are you? Floodzilla, I have on the Intel. Well, I'm taking the plunge. I said this earlier. I have One X, the One X Player X1, which is a 11-inch basically tablet that docks with like some Joy Cons, as the best way to put it, and it's using the new Intel Meteor Lake 155H. I got the just like I did with the Neo Slide and the GPD Win. I got the 64 gig, 4 terabytes, 4 terabyte model. Some of you that maybe have more experience with Intel and Arc, I know I've seen where 32 makes a difference when it comes to performance compared to the 16. So again, I don't know how the MSI claw is going to run. I know from talking to people that you know live within Intel and have some of these older Intel handhelds, they're saying that the 155H could be on par with the 7840U with the Z1 Extreme. And if drivers are provided by Intel, um, you could probably see a small performance difference and kind of surpass the 7040U, but not by that much. Yeah, Kirby, exactly. Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, Kirby Louise. 32 would be good on most of these handhelds. 64 is kind of overkill, especially with nothing else. And I know that on the Intel, and it doesn't allocate like you do on the AMD side, where you can sort of, on my GPU and Max, I have 16 gigs of VRAM dedicated, out of the 64 gigs of RAM to my devices. And I think anything after that's not really much of a difference. But you can definitely tell the difference between when you're playing with only X amount of VRAM versus. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll get it either way because even some of these, like I said, some of these handhelds are basically PCs, so I can dock this, and if as these gets older, I just hand it down to to my kids, and they can use it for whatever. No, no. What I said is that on the Intel so far, 32 is performing better than 16, and even now I think that with the any refresh to any current AMD handhelds or any handhelds, I think there should be a 32 gig variant versus a 16. Yeah, Floodzilla, I was on the fence. I'll tell you this. I went on Indiegogo and I pledged for the perks for the 72 hours, and I kept that one. And I literally canceled my order every other day. Like I literally have a page, and I finally talked to a couple of people, and I was like, all right, I saw some videos, and I was like, you know what? I just love the form factor. An 11-inch display. So it's especially when you're playing, Dragon's Dogma's coming, uh, Hellblade, whenever, Avowed. I want to play all these huge kind of open world or, big games on a huge display. So I was like, you know what? Let me take the plunge. Let me see how Intel rocks. I know that I'm not expecting mm, you know, on the performance to be close yet to the 7840U, but again, that device is going to be mostly for when I'm in my couch. So that's why with this, it kind of helps me in the sense of what I want to achieve with that specific device. Yeah, could release that'd be cool. I don't know with Ioneo because like a lot of these. So the thing with Ioneo, it seems that they do refresh their other devices, but then they're always looking. But I'm thinking, how else can you kind of continue to make some crazy stuff that they come up with? And I would love for them to kind of do like the others. Like, so for instance, GPD Win has the one I have here, the Win Max 2. They have different variants from different years. They just put up the 8840U, which is literally identical. The only difference is it's using an 8000 series um, AMD. And then, of course, they have GPD Win, the GPD Win 4, which literally looks like the slide, but it has reminiscent of the PSP. So they have their kind of lineup that they refresh slowly compared to Ioneo, which makes like 25 different devices in like a month. But yeah, when I saw the Ioneo DS Flip, I was like, I need that. The fact that you can do to play, I can play like an indie game on that small display and then watch a YouTube video, do something else, or even they showed you how it has like this sort of like, I think it's like a screen capture that then allows you to bring it to this lower screen. So if you're playing, I think they done with Spider-Man or any game, right, that has a map, now you have kind of your map or inventory on the bottom screen. That looked wild, and right there, that sold me. Yeah, yes, I was waiting for that. I think it was called the Ioneo Next 2 or something like that, and I haven't heard anything. The last time I knew was when I was last year, and people were saying, "Hey, you should wait." And then we got the Ioneo, which I'm not going to say the name because we all know the 8-inch display and terrible name that they named that device. Yeah, I think when Zen 5 hits, that's where we're going to kind of see a little bit of that performance. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if we get that new Steam Deck next year, maybe in the fall, or does Valve wait till 2026? Well, everyone, thank you for coming. Um, I appreciate it. I hope you got some good information. Please like, subscribe. Check my videos out. I'm going to be putting videos out like always. I will put my TikTok there where I mostly put a lot of my videos, and then I'll be putting up here so you can see some of the games that I'm playing. And I'm playing all the current ones I have. I'm going to be posting one for Pacific Drive. As soon as I start Grand Blue Fantasy, I'll put one up there as well. And I like to play it on all my devices so you can see whether you like a specific device that I may be using. You'll see that, hey, I can run it. I'm running everything natively, nothing on GeForce Now. And if I do run it through the eGPU, you'll know. That way, I'm giving you real, the way it actually performs. Not, hey, you buy the device, and you're like, hey, I just saw your video running this at like X amount of and mine runs like garbage. All right, everyone, have a nice night. Bye. Take care.